guys, welcome back to the channel. So the Black Stars squad has been named. We officially know the players that will be playing June 18, 2023 in Tananarivo, Madagascar in that penultimate Afcon qualifier. However, as is with any of the Black Star squads that are named, we have issues and positives to talk about it. And I know what you might be thinking. Let's look at the positive side. Let's push these guys on. Let's be positive. And let's not try to dwell on those who have not been called, but rather those that are available and are ready to play and have been selected by the coach, support the coach and all that. I hear you loud and clear. It still is valid that I hope that players are called to the Black Stars on merit, and based on some of the call-ups, in my opinion, some should not be there while others should be there. It's still valid when you tell me all that, but it's still my job to analyze it. The coach can only prove all of us wrong if all the players he called and are being questioned are successful in playing well and contributing to the team's success. As usual, subscribe if you have not, click on the notification bell to get more updates. Before I jump into today's breakdown of the squad, let me give two shout outs to two guys. I was supposed to do it in my last video, but I could not. Yasser Arafat, thank you for watching. You wanted me to give you a shout out. This is your shout out. And Mborige Moses, I hope I got the pronunciation right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Moses Mborige, if I got it right, let me know in the comments. Thank you. And those are my shout outs for today. Without much ado, let's get right into it and look at the Black Stars 24-man squad that was named by Coach Chris Hughton earlier today. The team will face Madagascar in that penultimate game. I'm wondering why we didn't set up a friendly game, especially when the Afcon is just 6 months away or 7 months away. Well, probably the players need to rest for preseason, and possibly after the end of the season they might not be available to play so many games. That being said, I have some questions that need answering. You'd notice that Chris Hughton did not explain his squad and why players were missing and all that. Of course, with the obvious injuries to players like Tariq Lamptey, who is in town doing his charity work, Mohamed Salisu, Antoine Semenyo, and the likes, those Kofi Tre as well. We know of those injuries, but one guy who I expected to be in here was Patrick Pfeiffer. Patrick Pfeiffer, in my opinion, after switching nationalities to play for the Black Stars, has never been called up. Especially now with the injury to Mohamed Salisu, you would have thought that Pfeiffer would get his shout in the team. Instead, we gave an opportunity to call in Nicolas Opoku, who in my opinion is not better than Patrick Pfeiffer. Yes, the coach will also have his preference, but I think Pfeiffer in Darmstadt this season has deserved a call-up. At least we should see him in action for the Ghana Black Stars. Not to rain on Nicolas Opoku's parade and call him a not so good player, but I feel that Pfeiffer is better suited for the Black Stars. Maybe there are issues with his nationality switch, as someone suggested in the comments. Don't know how true that is. But what is the issue with Patrick Pfeiffer? Why has he never been called up when he specifically switched nationality to play for the Ghana Black Stars ahead of the World Cup? All those that switched nationalities were called up. Well, except Ambrosius, of course, who was injured in the lead up to the World Cup. So what is the issue with Patrick Pfeiffer? Coach Chris Hughton, if you can forward this video to him, and probably he can give us some answers. Leroy Owusu is also another curious case I'm quite baffled about. Right back is not the most secure position in the Ghana Black Stars team. Dennis Odoi is in his mid-30s. Might not be able to play for the Black Stars in the near future. Alidu Seidu, up and coming, great guy. Tariq Lamptey, one for the future. But then you watch Leroy Owusu for Velem 2 and you'd wonder why he has not been called. In the lead up to that Nigeria game in the World Cup qualifiers, the playoff, he was one what was being discussed, nationality switch. All of a sudden the news died down. This guy is good. 6 assists, 2 goals. He's won for finding out and picking out a pass through his crosses. Why has he not been invited yet? When the discussion of a nationality switch started way back in March 2022. What is the issue? We need answers to that. Another one there is with Edmond Addo. I, for one, probably don't see why Chris Hughton insists with Edmond Addo. He's the only one who can perfectly answer us. But Edmond Addo has been called once again, and I'm a bit surprised. Why Baba Idrisu is not in ahead of him, I would never know. First off, Baba Idrisu is more consistent in playing time for his club side. Also, Baba Idrisu is a better player, in my opinion, than Edmond Addo. Not to say Addo is not a good player. But as I always say, you give the coach the benefit of the doubt at times and see how the players perform. But in the last time that Edmond Addo was called, I did not like his play in that game. So I'm wondering, why no Baba Idrisu? Anyone with any ideas? Hopefully Chris Hughton will give us, or the FA will give us, an opportunity to ask some of these questions and get them answered. I doubt if that will be the case. We were told, especially in the past when we asked, we were told that the players that are available, the coach has decided to settle on. You cannot call all the players, yada yada yada. I've heard this story before, and I think that is the tune that will be going on this time. First off, I heard some comments saying that local players were not invited. So why was Chris Hughton visiting so many local centers? First off, the fact that he was, I said it yesterday, he was visiting local venues does not mean he's obliged to call locally based players. I also feel that he's doing more of an assessment of the quality of the league and suggestions, solutions to how to improve the quality of the league than looking at locally based players in order to call them to the national team. That's how I see it, and we've all learned it the hard way from the CHAN, from the Afcon, from the World Cup, that the locally based players are not cut for it. The locally based players did not do well at the CHAN, and this was an opportunity for them to prove all the doubters wrong. We saw their performance, we saw their quality, and I would not blame any of them. The quality of football in the country is not there yet. We have to improve on that first and foremost before we can say that we are producing quality. And there was one interesting stat where we transferred close to, if I'm not mistaken, 50 plus players, all at a cost of £15 million, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 or 30 million odd pounds. That amount goes for the sale of one player in some parts of the world. It just shows that we are not churning out enough quality players. We are not churning out enough quality, and that is our bane. That is the major issue. The quality of football in the country is not up there yet, so please, the local players will have to take a back step a bit and hold on to Black Stars call-up. Another issue I have with the Black Stars call-up at times is calling up players and not allowing them to play. Another typical example recently is Kamal Soa, called up 4 times, not given a chance to play or start, and then not called up this time. What message are we sending across? Ransford Yeboah-Konestoffer has been called up several times and never giving a start. He was not called up this time despite having a good season with his club side Hamburger SB. Kwesi Ocherekt, with 3 goals this season, has been called up. We need explanation. And Francis Amuzu thought he had made that switch. What is the latest on him? I'm not here to only look at the negatives of the call-up, but I'm impressed as well with some of the players that were called. There's some consistency in the national team call-ups. Probably Chris Hughton doesn't want to disturb the balance. Probably he's looking to build a team with more consistent call-ups. But these questions I've asked, I think, are genuine and are not out of the place. I think we deserve the best quality because we have not won a trophy in a long while. And me demanding and asking these questions is just right. Great to see that most of the core of the team are back. Andre Ayew was not everyone's favorite when the call-ups were made. I saw some in the comments. Kwesi Ocherekt, in my opinion, should not have been in there. But those are my issues with the national team. All in all, I think it's a good side that should be able to overcome Madagascar in Antananarivo. I think we should be at the Afcon after that game on June 18th. But let me know what you think in the comments box. Cornets Doffa, I think, probably would be with the under 23. But does that mean that Ernest Nuama would not be with the under 23? He got them there. He deserves to be there. He should be there. I feel we might be jumping the gun with this one here, as we did with Abdul Fattah Wisahaku. But let me know what you think in the comments box. Great to see Nuama, however, being rewarded with his fine performances with a call up into the national team. But what do you think of this squad? Are my questions valid? Am I being too negative? Let me know what you think in the comments box. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week.